Hey everyone, thanks so much for being here today. And I want to give a quick hello also to our friends. There's about 100 folks or more on our live YouTube stream right now. So I'm Chip Giller. I'm the executive director and co-founder of Agog. If you're new to Agog, we are a philanthropic organization that helps people use immersive media to imagine and build a better world. My background is as a climate journalist. I co-founded Agog with Wendy Schmidt because we know that data and information alone don't move people. And we've seen how immersive media shifts people from observer to participant. Reading about glaciers melting is totally different from standing on a melting glacier. So, not everyone can travel to do that, of course, but immersive media can get us pretty close. People can know something is real and urgent. Their brains may grok the urgency, but they don't feel it in a way that moves them to act. That's where Agog lives. And the fact that you guys are all here leads me to think that you believe in the power of this emerging medium as well. And that's great because today we're really excited to use this space to talk about Agog's first open call, Climate, Futures, and Immersive Media. This is a $1 million funding initiative to support projects that help people connect more deeply to climate challenges and imagine new pathways for action. Since launching Agog about 2 years ago, we've had the privilege of working closely with creators, storytellers, nonprofit organizations, and cultural leaders to explore the possibilities of immersive media for social good. And it's amazing to say that so far we have committed about $6.5 million in grants to support immersive media projects that can help bring about a better world. So in that vein, I just want to give a quick shout out to the Agog team members here today for all of their dedicated work to bring our mission to life. Thanks, guys. So this open call builds on our early learnings, and we hope welcomes many newcomers to immersive media. So with that, I'm going to turn it over to Nisha Kadaba. She's our director of programs, and she'll tell you a bit more about our open call, and then we'll take questions. So thanks again, everyone.
Hello, everyone. Thanks so much, Chip. My name is Nisha. I'm the new director of programs at Agog, and I'm thrilled to be here. My background is in technology for social impact, and I'm really excited to say this is my first time ever presenting in VRChat. So bear with me, and hopefully everything goes smoothly. I'm going to give a quick overview of the open call, and then Jasmine Askew, our program manager, will speak to eligibility and the application process. Then we'll open it up for Q&A. If you wouldn't mind holding your questions till the end, we'd appreciate it. As Chip talked about, we know that climate change can often feel overwhelming or distant. We believe immersive media offers a unique opportunity to help people not only understand and feel these challenges more deeply, but also imagine pathways toward action, resilience, and hope. We are looking for projects that understand climate realities, feel connected to the issue, imagine better futures for all, and participate in collective action. We'll be awarding grants from $25,000 to $200,000 across a range of stages, from early concept to more developed projects. Funding is available to storytellers, activists, artists, organizers, technologists, and other creative teams with ideas on how to move people from understanding to climate action through immersive media. So in short, projects do not need to be fully built. Applicants do not need to be XR experts. Experimental formats are welcome. And as I mentioned, grants will be offered from $25,000 to $200,000 in that range. These are the themes and areas of interest that we're looking for, but noting that these are not strict categories, we're also excited to see the brilliant ideas you all have and put forward your ideas on how you can use immersive to address these climate issues. Issue areas can include climate storytelling and civic participation. These are place-based immersive experiences that help people viscerally understand climate change and inspire meaningful civic engagement, organizing, and collective action. Community power and resilience include resources that put real-time information, coordination capacity, and decision-making power in the hands of frontline communities before, during, and after climate disasters. Access and equity includes projects that center communities most impacted by climate disasters and explore pathways for repair, sovereignty, and community-led partnership and leadership. Planetary connection includes the face of climate anxiety, tools and experiences that support and deepen meaningful connection to the natural world through immersive media. Future building and world design. These are projects that help us expand our collective imagination to envision a more livable, connected, and thriving future. And lastly, your brilliant ideas here. Bold, imaginative approaches that we haven't yet thought of that might expand what climate participation can feel and look like for public good. We are intentionally broad and exploratory in how we define immersive media. For this open call, we are looking for projects that use augmented reality, virtual reality, mixed reality, spatial audio, smart glasses content, social XR experiences, and projects that are multi-platform. Our whole team is so excited to see what new ideas, collaborations, and experiences you all emerge from all of you and the communities across the country. We're especially excited that this opportunity is designed not only for experienced XR creators, but also for mission-driven organizations and storytellers who may be newer to immersive media, like me, but have powerful stories, relationships, and ideas to bring forward. Strong climate expertise and a compelling idea is just as valuable as technical XR experience. We're really thrilled to have a stellar group of XR experts and climate leaders on our review committee for the open call, including Miriam, Chief of New Media Partnerships and PR at PHI, Jerome Foster, an environmentalist, Agog's Executive Director and co-founder, Chip Giller, who you heard from this morning, and Anthony, Director of Yale Program on Climate Change Communication. And finally, Jacqueline Patterson, founder and executive director of the Chisholm Legacy Project. These are the people that will be poring over your application materials in the coming months, and we're grateful for their partnership. And with that, I will turn it over to my colleague, Jasmine Askew, Agog's program manager, to dig in on some of the specifics.
Thanks, Nisha. Hi, everyone. Super excited to be here with you today. As Chip mentioned, we're super excited to be launching this open call, and I'm really excited to walk you through our eligibility and some other aspects of our criteria. All right. Eligibility and fiscal sponsorship. So all funded projects have to receive funding through a registered legal entity. What that means is that while individuals cannot specifically receive grants through this open call, we can make grants to registered nonprofits, registered companies, organizations, studios, as well as fiscally sponsored projects. A fiscal sponsorship is usually a relationship with a nonprofit organization that will pass through the funding to an entity that doesn't have 501c3 status. This is a key aspect of our open call, so really excited to share this information with you all. Also, what makes a strong proposal? So we're really looking for compelling climate stories. As Nisha and Chip have mentioned, that's the underlying aspect of this call. We're also looking for projects that are using immersive media really thoughtfully. Previously, you saw some of the platforms and tools that we're interested in seeing. And so I would say those are two of the primary aspects of what makes a strong proposal. But in this, we're looking for what is the story you're telling? How is this medium actually supporting the story and the narrative? What is the audience? How do you expect to reach and engage them in this work? Why? And also, why you and your team? These are all questions that we'll be considering and things that we'll be thinking through in evaluating your proposals. We want to make sure that you have meaningful relationships to the community that is reflected in the proposals and in the content overall. Related to that, what are we not looking for? So as you can infer from what we are looking for, this is not simply about tech. This is also about audience, community, story, impact. And so think through that as you're preparing your applications. With climate being a priority focus of this call, we're not looking for vague references. We're not looking for projects that simply focus on the latest and greatest tech. We're looking for projects that really think through how the medium can help translate the impact story that they are trying to tell. And so making sure that all of that is clear in your application. Again, as mentioned, who is the audience? How are you reaching them? Why this audience? All play into both what we're looking for and what we're not looking for. Now, applying. We'll go over some quick tips and tricks over the next slide and just things to be cognizant of. The application has basic core areas of information that it will ask for. So everything from the organization name to about the climate experience, the user experience, the budget, and you'll have an opportunity to upload supporting materials, whether that's pitch decks, prototypes, whatever you have, existing material that will go into the project if it's newer or in development. Once you actually go to the application and log in, you'll be able to see all of the questions, so you can prepare your application even separately outside of the outside of the platform. It will also save all of your answers, and so don't worry that you have to submit everything all at once, or that you're unable to share with your team. You actually have all of that capacity in the platform, so you can look at the application, you can see what the questions are, prepare your answers, share with the team, come back to the application, it'll save your spot. And so we really just wanted to make this as accessible as possible. So we're not asking any crazy, tricky questions. You'll get the opportunity to share some of these basics, and to look at the application and come back and give us your best answers. As Nisha mentioned previously, we're anticipating making grants from 25 to about 200K per project. This doesn't guarantee that we'll be funding full projects. There's capacity for both. So some grants will support maybe a portion of a project or a specific action as a part of the project. Some will be more for early stage concepts. Some will be for projects that are already completed and are working on distribution. That's the new project, is the distribution or an audience engagement campaign. So there's a broad swath of what we're sort of looking for, as you've seen reflected in the other slides, and the budgets will help us to understand and make decisions about how we ultimately grant, but we wanted to give you a clear idea of the range and what we're looking for. I wanted to give some quick, just high-level reminders. I know we've thrown a ton of information at you, but we're really looking for, concrete and specific applications. We want to know, what are you working on? Why are you working on this? Why does this make sense in this medium? I know I'm beating the same nail, but I really wanted to, drill that home, that those are some of the key things that we're looking for. So be concrete, be specific. Take the time with the application to think through your answers, and make sure that you're really reflecting your work and your goals and your impact really well. Describe to us, what is that participant experience? So even if you are at the prototype or the concept stage, we can really understand what it is that you're building, what you're creating, and how you would like it to not only be designed, but ultimately implemented in the world will be key for us. That audience and distribution plan is really as helpful as understanding what it is that you're developing, because we want to make sure we understand what's the ultimate impact that you're hoping to make, and what partnerships and what partnerships and things you have to actually execute that as well. So we're really looking for strong ideas. We want this to be inclusive of people who are at a range of stages in their immersive journey. And we're just really excited to see what you all bring to the table. Applications are open. They close June 12th. And I cannot say this enough, but there will not be any extensions past that deadline. It is a real hard deadline, I promise you. So please get your applications in. And then we hope to notify all applicants in the fall of 2026 of this year. So that is a lot of information. Moving to the next slide, we'll now invite Amy Seidenworm, our Chief of Programs and Strategy, onto the stage, and we will take your questions. But really want to thank everyone for listening to this presentation. I know that we shared a lot of information, and we just really appreciate all of your excitement about the open call. We're going to open it up for questions soon, but I just wanted to share a bit of information. We've gotten some initial questions that we'll try and address at the top. Most of them are addressed in the slides. Also, we won't have the opportunity to go through your individual projects in this Q&A. We really want to answer general questions about eligibility, how to apply, some of those things. But there's also an opportunity to join us on Discord, to participate in office hours, to email grants@agog.org, and have your specific questions answered. But yeah, thank you again, and really excited to answer your questions.
I see that you need a fiscal sponsor from the US, and what if the story is from somewhere else? Like if it's not a story that's centered around the US, it's from somewhere else, and I'm also from, a different country, but I have someone who's, a sponsor. How would that work?
Yeah, so applications have to be submitted by a legal entity based in the US. We understand climate stories are broad and diverse, and in many cases, oceans connect us. You can submit a project with international collaborators. You can submit a project that is about international themes. Just the applicant should be the US entity.
I am a producer and I'm planning to apply for my own work, but I'm also a collaborator of other people here. Is it a problem if I show up on more than one application?
No, you can submit multiple applications as long as they're for distinct projects.
Perfect. Thank you.
Yeah, as you can tell, some of us are from the 501c3 nonprofit sector, so we have a limited amount of understanding as to how this world works. In creating a budget and trying to work with you all as to how you can support these immersive climate experiences, do you have recommendations as to if we're a partner who has very limited immersive VR technology experience to work with an organization potentially that is for profit to support us with that? We're just concerned about eating up the budget line items on purchasing all the technology, if that makes sense, versus delivering the actual creation of the experience.
I think, Christy, you have a couple of options. You could just submit your idea and we might fund with an R&D budget, and that would allow you to find people who can collaborate with you and bring that expertise. Or you could try and find a production company or somebody with experience to partner with you. I think either would be totally a logical way to kind of move forward.
I just wanted to ask, let's say I do an application and it's successful. That would be amazing. Is there like a timeline or when the project needs to be finished? Is there like what would be then the relationship with Agog moving forward? Are you going to be following up on the project? Are you going to be looking at if it actually gets done and how it gets done? If it follows the pitch, how closely, etc. Thank you.
Yeah, so we're looking for ideally proposals that are based on a 1-year time frame. So if you're pitching and you're saying specifically this project will be completed within 1 year, yeah, we like to have a relationship with our grantees. We'd be following up quarterly, checking in on progress, seeing how things are coming about. 1 year from this open call, we hope to be, helping you celebrate and promote this project being completed or done, but really being a part of that journey through different conversations and updates would be a part of the grant expectations.
If I'm a company that does XR and I'm looking for a climate story or I'm looking for an organization to partner with, will you have any sort of these are projects, these are companies, and maybe you guys can partner together sort of resource?
I think for this open call, we're looking for projects that you sort of are already working on or thinking through that have those partners embedded. I think there's opportunity to connect with people across our Discord and some of our community channels who might want the technological partner, like Christy over here. But I think for this call, we won't necessarily be matchmaking organizations and nonprofits yet, but we do hope to see that, and we hope to nurture that through some of these community engagements.
Okay, great. So if I wanted to post in Discord that we were available, we could do that?
Yes, absolutely.
I have a quick question regarding pre-existing IP. If you fund this project, would you expect any ownership rights or licensing and usage rights for publicity purposes?
We wouldn't require ownership of the project itself, like the output, but we would ideally talk through as a part of the grant agreement what sort of promotion of the project, the team, the work would look like. That wouldn't be to the level of like, we own this or we have endless rights to this. But yeah, ideally we would get permission with our Marcom team to do blog posts, to do social media, but all of that would be done in agreement and alignment with the project team. So not taking ownership of the work itself, but yes, ideally co-promotion is a part of this, if that's helpful.
If you're looking for collaborators, please, we really encourage you to engage with our broader community and find people that you connect with and can potentially partner with. I think that's a really, really fantastic way to grow this field is through community building. So please do that. How expansive is the view of immersive media? Can experiences be largely web-based if they are spatial and experiential in nature?
Sure. Bring it. Do it.
There you go.
So I was going to ask if, I don't know if someone asked earlier, but about the budget, like, do you propose the budget? I mean, do I say, oh, this is the budget for my project, or is there a cap?
You would share the budget for your project as a part of your application. If there are things that you're still guesstimating on, you can definitely give us a range or a best estimation, but you would share the budget for the project.
Okay, thank you.
Does it matter what genre it is? Like, can it be a game, or is it has to be like an app or a narrative, interactive experience? And then second question is the grant paid in milestones with different phases? And the third question is there a specific phase of the project that has to be completed for the grant to cover? Like, or can it just be like a short version of a full project, or is it like an MVP, or it has to be like the full project for the funds to be covered?
Funding can cover an MVP or a prototype, or that's the way we're accepting applications from projects of all different stages. And so the funding that will determine sort of which portion of the project we're funding. But yes, it can be R&D even, like Amy mentioned. The funding will be not tranched, so just a grant for that we determine to support the work. It won't be distributed at intervals. It'll just be given up front. And then the first question, genre. It has to be immersive and it has to be climate. That's it.
My question is about platforms. Is like, obviously immersive is quite a wide umbrella. And I'm wondering if you guys have any preferences in terms of which platforms we use. Do you have a preference, for example, something that is more widely used so there's more impact? Or are you happy to go super specific into some technology if it makes sense?
I think if it makes sense, we're platform agnostic. So if it makes sense to your impact strategy, to the audience that you're hoping to reach, and to just the overall project, then that's the platform we'd like you to use. So,
perfect.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Mm-hmm.
I personally am really excited about seeing something on smart glasses if anybody's willing to play.
Yes.
I just wanted a clarification on the funding entity, or the entity that you need. It can be for profit, or does it only need to be nonprofits that you're distributing grants to?
The project needs to be charitable in itself, in nature in itself, but if it's a legal U.S. entity, we can still make a grant to it. So if it's overarchingly a for-profit entity, as long as the project itself is charitable, it's best with a fiscal sponsor. So we would talk about that on a case-by-case basis, but there is a pathway.
Okay, thanks.
Yeah, I think I was unclear about the for-profit and non-profit thing. I thought it was supposed to be specifically non-profit.
If you have a nonprofit entity, we definitely recommend you apply with a nonprofit entity or a fiscal sponsor. Yes.
Okay.
Well, I was curious about, from my experience with virtual, like XR stuff, like the experience before and after you put on the headset or use the device is it's just as impactful. And I'm curious, like, can we ask for funding for the entire experience that would include the sort of pre and post part, or is it just for the development of the XR?
Yeah, you can ask for funding for the development of a piece, for the impact campaign, for the R&D. You can ask for funding for whichever stage of the project that you're at.
Great.
But that includes exhibition stuff. So if there's part of it that includes humans not in an immersive environment, that's cool too.
Right on.
Or as I like to say, do it.
Love a bit of offboarding.
Thank you.
Is it possible to have a co-production? Like, would that be feasible to have a legal entity in the US doing the submission, but also having a co-production in Europe or a production company in Europe, for example?
Yes.
Right.
Yes. Co-productions are accepted. Yes.
Thank you.
So I wanted to explore the charitable part a little bit because a couple of ideas I had involved some ongoing AI cost, and so I'm wondering if I need to skew away from that, or if there can be some cost or some charges for usage to cover cost. So does that make sense?
You're asking if you can include in the budget AI costs to support the XR piece?
Well, I guess what I'm asking is if it's charitable, does that mean that it's just for after the project's done, it's for free forever? Like part of the usage might have ongoing AI costs. So I'm wondering if we should try to cover that in the budget, or if we can charge people to cover cost.
Put it in the budget.
Okay, gotcha. Thank you. That's it. Thank you all.
Oh, hello. So I really like this, the climate futures, and you said it has to be about the environment, right? So all I have to have. Can you hear me? Oh, can you hear me?
You're good. Keep going.
Yeah.
Oh, so I was wondering. I think so. A friend of mine has already done a great project, but I think it would have more impact if it was an immersive piece. So then what should I do? I'm going to approach him, obviously, but then I still need a US entity to submit the project. Is that correct? Is that what I need to do? Okay.
Yes. Ideally, you would do it in collaboration with a nonprofit about that subject area, or it would be fiscally sponsored or something like that. But yes, that would definitely be eligible, something like that.
Cool. Okay. Thank you.
We are a VR production company that is based in Chile and Ecuador in South America, but we create the company in a new company in the US. Can we apply in that case?
Yes.
Okay, perfect. We have an amazing project for you guys.
Excited to read about it.
Nice.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Would an upgrade or an augmentation of an existing project be considered?
Yes, that sounds great. We would love to see that.
Do it.
Yes.
Do it.
Something
more encouragement.
Brings a project to multiple platforms. Sounds awesome. Yeah.
Awesome. So much VR work was made before, we had some of the access that we do today. So I'd love to see things ported, things improved. It's exciting.
I feel like I'm being a bit dim. Can you explain what a fiscal sponsor is?
Yeah, of course. So a fiscal sponsor is a nonprofit organization. They can receive and administer grant funding, like on behalf of a project or an individual creator. It's pretty common for artists, filmmakers, even journalists and researchers. So for example, maybe you are working at Yale in their insert department, and you'll ask for them to be your fiscal sponsor, and that department would be the nonprofit representative, the 501c3 that receives the grant, and then they would pass through a portion of the funding to you. The fiscal relationships that I like the best, sorry, I'm switching from hand tracking and it's not following, so my hands are everywhere, but the fiscal relationships that I like the best are the ones where they're integral to the work. So for example, if I was creating a project with Greenpeace, and they're maybe like a research partner, this is also like our project together, and so they're not just receiving funding and passing it through, they're like they're an integral part of the project that we're working on together. So those are really great fiscal partnerships and sponsor relationships, but there are also fiscal sponsors that literally just serve to pass through funding to artists and creatives.
The other great thing, I'm sorry, go ahead.
Yeah.
No.
I mean, the
Perfect, thank you.
about having a fiscal sponsor that is actually invested in the project is that they are the experts in whatever the subject is you're probably focusing on, so they can help you find the right people or address the right issues and just focus the project. And also it might actually help them get to whatever goal they have of educating people about it.
Just piggybacking on the 501c3 designation. So those of us in that sector have a limited understanding as to how much budget-wise it costs to get facilitators who have VR experience or this kind of like creative specialized skill set. Is Agog able to provide support to 501c3 or contractors to gain an understanding of like what it costs to bring in a creative like that? If we're creating a budget and trying to understand how to enter and collaborate with this world?
Yeah, I recommend applying. You'll notice in the application, there's a portion where you can tell us your XR experience. And then with the budget, you have the capacity to use whatever format you like. And so you could say in there, we have limited VR experience. Here's what we think this is going to cost. In evaluation of the project, when we're, thinking through the application, we'll be looking, like I said, at the strongest, what is the project? What are the goals? More so than like, oh, they got the budget exactly right. And if we get to the phase where we are making a grant, we're really collaborative with our grantees. So we're able to help with whether if it's an R&D specific budget, we're able to help point you towards organizations to consider, people to talk through. If it's a budget for a project, maybe we're able to help you think through, here's actually the amount that you might want to be considering allocating. So all of that would be a part of like final conversations and decisions that we'd make. And also we have an incredible team with mixed experience, including in designing XR experiences. We're also not going to make a grant that's not going to allow an organization to actually complete the output of what we've agreed to. So yeah, we'll definitely help with that in a variety of ways, and it'll depend on what the grant is for and what the relationship is with the org.
Can I just make a quick call out that we're already starting to see probably coming from our YouTube chat, like folks posting their information in Discord. So if you are looking for collaborators, I just want to reiterate that it's a really, really great place for you to find potential partners, creative technologists, storytellers, like across the spectrum, whether you're looking for potentially a fiscal sponsor or a creative technologist. Like we've got a really vast community there. So just encouraging folks to come check it out, share what you're looking for, share what you're working on, and hopefully that seeds some great partnerships.
Do you want us to identify specifically in the budget more like specifically an area that the grant might help fund, or do you support the project more generally speaking? Like, do you want us to more clearly identify where we think, the amount that, we're applying for might be helpful or be integral to the support, or are you looking to fund the project more generally for that, whatever amount that might be? Does that make sense?
we're going to fund a range and at different stages and for different portions. So you'll see actually in the application, when you look at it, there's an opportunity to tell us the total budget of the project. There's an opportunity to tell us specifically what you're requesting support for, the amount and the what. And so then the budget that you give us can be ideally your project budget. And if you have funding secured, you can say, we've already got this much funding for this portion. So we'll be able to see actually both in the application, your full budget, what you're specifically requesting support for. If you're in the case of someone like Christy and you're not 100% sure what the budget is, you also have the opportunity to say, this is the budget for the project, we think. And we'll be making those determinations on our end ultimately of how much we're supporting and in what capacity. So as much information as you can give us is helpful, but we'll make those determinations on the other end.
Great. Thank you.
So how do you, if I enter a project in for you guys to see, what if it is a research and development project as opposed to a fully fledged project? Does that make sense? So how, if I put this idea forward and you guys go, actually, Lawless, that looks like more of an R&D project that can turn into a full-fledged project. Or then you might say, oh, actually, Lawless, that is a good project. And would you give that kind of advice? That's the question. Does that make sense?
Like coaching on what we actually think. Yeah. Yes, we would. Mm-hmm.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
And I think
sorry. Go ahead. No, you first. I
think the one thing maybe we haven't been clear about is we may partially fund a project. That you may come in with a large budget and we may say, we'd love to fund you to get to the next place with this, and we'd love to see what that looks like, and then we might consider it for a larger grant or something like that.
Yeah, you answered the question. Thank you. That clears it up a bit more for me. Cool.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, in addition to reviewing the applications, we will have, interviews and conversations. And then if we get to the point of we're really interested in making a grant, that will be a part of the conversation as well. This is the portion we're really interested in, or this is what we think, and, could really help this project. So.
Thank you so much. Thanks for coming, everyone.
Thank you.